Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Denise, and on this channel I talk all about minimalism and intentional living. For today's video, I thought it would be fun to share with you kind of my thought process, tips and tricks on creating and planning for a capsule wardrobe. I am currently planning out my fall capsule wardrobe. If you didn't already know, fall is my favorite season, so I'm really excited. Fall is my favorite season for many reasons. The weather is gonna cool down. I feel like fall fashion is just superior. I love layering, I love sweaters, I love all the cozy things about fall, and I am just so ready for it. It is currently 90 degrees outside right now. We are going into the month of September, and I just feel like September just really kicks off like the end of summer, beginning of fall time period. So yeah, just from now until December is just my favorite time. It's just the best. So obviously when curating a capsule wardrobe, it's really important to be intentional. That's kind of the whole idea behind it. I know a lot of us can really get carried away by being too much of a perfectionist when it comes to this. And sometimes when we see all these beautiful capsule wardrobes on the internet, it makes us feel like nothing we have is good and we have to buy like a whole new wardrobe. But that's not the point of this. The point of a capsule wardrobe is just to focus on the items that you already have, focusing on the things you actually love and things that actually fit your body type and your current lifestyle. So personally for me, I am very casual. If you've seen my previous capsule wardrobe videos, you've probably noticed that my capsule wardrobe does not have things like trousers, heels, blazers. Not that I don't think those pieces are beautiful. They just don't fit my lifestyle, and I don't think at this time fit into my personal style. So I don't feel the need to buy those things. And yes, I have been tempted in the past, seeing all these beautiful capsule wardrobes that do actually include these things. I've been tempted to buy into that, but I'm glad I didn't because I have realized it just doesn't fit my style and I don't really need it. So basically, I have already gone through my closet, gone through the things and items that I already had in my closet from the previous fall season, and just kind of have picked through that or shopped through that first before thinking of things I would like to add. So tip number one when planning out a capsule wardrobe for any season or just a year-round capsule wardrobe in general is to shop your closet first. So you don't want to get into that mindset, like I said, that mindset of feeling like you need to buy a whole new wardrobe to fit this minimalist aesthetic. Unless you truly like that and that's what you're going for, I highly recommend you don't do this. So I recommend you shop your closet first, go through everything that you already have, and start there. So while you're going through your items, some important questions to ask yourself while you're going through everything are: what do I like and not like, and why? What pieces did I not reach for as much last season, and why? And in regards to those pieces that you did not reach for as often, once you figure out the why, the next question you need to ask yourself is this an issue that can easily be fixed in order for me to actually wear this item more, or is it just more of a hassle that I know I won't be reaching for it as much again? So if that's the case, I think it's safe to say that you need to declutter those items that fall into that category. So some examples of this can be things fitting too large or too tight. Maybe you just don't feel good about the color. Maybe it's a piece that you've been meaning to mend and you just haven't gotten around to it. You really just need to ask yourself, like, am I really gonna take the time to mend this item, to get this item tailored? Maybe the item just takes a little bit of extra maintenance due to the fabric, such as taking it to the dry cleaners. And if you didn't do that the last season, chances are that this year you're not going to get to that either. So I think it's safe to say that you need to declutter those items. If you really feel confident and you know that you are going to be able to fix an issue with an item pretty quickly and it's an easy fix, by all means, get that done and add it to your capsule wardrobe. Now, as for pieces that you had reached for over and over again, it's important to ask yourself and notice, what are some of the qualities and aspects of this item that you love. And that way you can just start paying attention to these things and maybe try to seek that out in other items that you may purchase in the future, just so you know it's actually going to be something that you love and works for you. I had to switch locations because it was getting way too hot in that other room. Like I said, it's 90 degrees outside and I had the window or the curtains drawn to get that good lighting. So I hope the lighting in here is good enough. It does tend to get a lot darker in this room, but also stays a lot cooler. Okay, so once you have kind of gathered all your items that you are going to be including in your capsule wardrobe, now it's time to kind of start thinking about what holes you need to fill, if there are any, and what pieces you would like to add. So I strongly suggest focusing on pieces that will go with the items you already have. This will kind of just help make it feel more curated and feel more like a capsule wardrobe. This is something you don't necessarily have to follow. It's just something I recommend, but obviously do what makes you happy. Personally, I want to find items that will go with the pieces I already have, just because it's going to make things so much easier for me in regards to putting outfits together. It's also just something I prefer because it's a little bit more pleasing to the eye to have everything be more cohesive, not really necessarily have all neutrals, because I do like adding pops of color here and there, just in a very intentional way. So for example, my current capsule that I've began to curate using my own items that I already had, right now it consists of all neutrals, which is something I want to change. So I want to add pops of color. I actually found a color palette that I really like. I'll pop it up here on the screen, but it includes colors like burgundy and like warmer pink tones. It just feels very me. I really enjoy those colors. So I think that will be a fun way to add a pop of color without it feeling too overwhelming. So something I recommend is taking photos of all the items that you already have. And with that, I recommend creating some type of mood board or collage, or even just keeping those photos like in a folder on your phone, just so you can kind of collectively see everything together. And then to that, you can kind of add photos of things you are thinking of purchasing, just to see like what everything would look like together. This is just something I like to do and I find it really helpful. So if you feel like that would be helpful at all to you, I highly recommend doing that. And when you are looking of items to add to your capsule, whether it's because you have some holes you need to fill or some items that actually need to be replaced because they've been worn out, I really recommend focusing on mainly items you need to replace, plus a few key items that you think will really add to your capsule. Obviously, this highly depends on what you already have, so some people may need to add just a few more items than others. For example, me personally, I don't need a lot of pieces to add. I would just like to add like 2 or 3 colorful pieces and like 2 or 3 layering pieces and basics, because I feel like I don't have too many of those, and it is nice to have more than just one, just because it gets really annoying to have to wash the same items over and over again. It just doesn't work for me, and I just like to have more than 1 or 2 basic layering pieces. And last but not least, it's really important that you consider your lifestyle and the climate you live in. So if you live somewhere where it is warm and sunny all year round, then you probably won't need a trench coat or really thick sweaters. So even though these may be fall staples, if you're actually not going to be comfortable wearing that in your climate, then don't buy those pieces. Buy things that fit your climate and lifestyle. Now, I live somewhere where we basically get all 4 seasons, so it does tend to get a little chillier in the fall and then even colder in the winter. Our winters here are still pretty mild, so I don't need like a very thick winter coat for winter, but still just a nice decent coat. So it's just important to consider what you will and will not need before blindly going out and purchasing a bunch of items just because you think they're cute or you saw them on someone else and you were influenced. most, just really be intentional with the items that you will be bringing into your capsule. So as far as my fall capsule wardrobe, like I said, I want to bring in some color, mainly focusing on like this wine burgundy garnet red color and also like a warmer toned pink. I've been eyeing a couple sweaters on Saison that I want to purchase. I saved pictures of the items on my phone and I'm kind of going to think on it for a little bit. And if I find myself still wanting those pieces like in a week or two, then I'll go ahead and make the purchase. This kind of just helps add like a buffer between me and making purchases of things that maybe I don't really want that bad. I don't know. I feel like it's just good practice to really think about items that you want to purchase before hitting that order button and purchasing something you'll regret later. So on my current list for my fall capsule are these two sweaters from Saison, maybe a brown boot because I already have a black boot, an off-white fitted t-shirt, and like a cream ivory warmer white sweater that's not a cardigan because I already own a lot of, well, not a lot. I own like 2 cream cardigans and that's more than enough. I don't need a third one. So I would like to have just like a simple crew or mock neck neutral sweater that's not a cardigan. That would be nice. And honestly, I think that's it. I don't really need that much. I think those few items will really complete the capsule. So hopefully in the next video, I can show you the completed capsule wardrobe. That would be really fun, especially like I said, fall is my all-time favorite season and probably one of my favorite capsules to create. And also going into winter, I'm sure I'll transition a lot of the same pieces into winter. I will probably just end up adding like a coat and maybe a few other things, but all I really need to transition into winter is a thicker coat because it does get colder. All right, guys, that was it for today's video. That was just kind of the process I like to go through when creating a capsule wardrobe. I hope these tips and tricks were helpful to you, and I can't wait to show you my completed fall capsule once it's done. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.